You ever considered the choices in your life? Did you feel like your choices were objective, free from outside interference, entirely of your free will? When we're children, we're told we can be whatever we want to be. Whatever we choose to set our hearts after, we can pursue that. Some choose to be doctors, some lawyers, some even athletes. As a young person, they pursue that life's ambition, albeit for a college education or through their athleticism. They pursue that purpose in life. The others may merely exist between the past and the future, never really getting anywhere. Most of these ambitious people are able to secure gainful employment, able to meet life's minimum requirements, shelter, renting a home or purchasing a home, raising children, providing food for their family, but life becomes pattern. Early to bed, early to rise, for work. However, they soon realize they have too little time. Time for their spouse, time for their children, and no time for themselves. They may have the success of employment, the minimum creature comforts, but they become aware that they have a lack of freedom. Slowly, time takes its toll and depression slips in. Here we have professionals, and they are no different from the others. The others who didn't have college plans, no clear paths for life, no athletic prowess to carry them into opportunities. Eventually, time has a way of sifting folks into the same place. Slavery of your mind. Sure, there might be some of you listening to this and thinking to yourself, well, this doesn't apply to me. And my response would be, wait and see. We're all being led to believe we have choices. Choices to be whatever we want to be. How many become these things? Their position in life, only to discover that they really don't enjoy it after all. We're told to go to school, get an education, and that sometimes means going to college, going into debt, then getting a good job, investing in your IRA, trust the system, buy a house, pay on it for 30 years, have equity for your retirement, raise a family, pay your taxes, and accept this as success. The American dream. What if your choices weren't really your own? What if you were lied to, convinced that life would be good if you just followed the path laid before you? The rat race, or it's so commonly called. The others understood the risks of choosing to pursue the wrong path in life. Unfortunately, this paralyzes them, and they just plod through life, wasting time. They work dead-end jobs, work for next to nothing, but they tell themselves, at least I didn't waste money on college. Both groups are victims. Both convince themselves it is what it is, or that's life. Gradually, growing older and more regretful by the passing years, choices. We all make them. Every day, we make them. I'd like to try an experiment. If you would just give me your undivided attention for a few moments. If you're doing other things while listening to this, just for a moment, just stop and listen. You in the audience, ladies, I want you to think of an even number between 1 and 10. Gentlemen, you would please think of any odd number between 1 and 10. I'm going to list some descriptive words in a numerical list. The number that you thought of, I want you to remember the descriptive words associated with that number. When we get to that number, remember the descriptive terms. This will be important later. Number 1, precious metal. Number 2, yarn. Number 3, cutlery. Number 4, golden in color. Number 5, highly polished. Number 6, a ball. Number 7, sharp. Number 8, a cat's toy. Number 9, hand tool. And finally, number 10, round. All of you have some descriptive terms. Now I'm going to list some random objects. Match your descriptive term to the most likely object that fits. Gentleman's top hat. Blue felt tip pen. Postage stamp. Carving knife. Yellow ball of yarn. Oil painting. Antique clock. Horse-drawn buggy. Caribbean island. Old dusty book. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please stretch out your right hand and hold it in front of you. In your empty hand, I want you to imagine the object that you matched your descriptive terms with from the random list of objects that closely correlated to your descriptive terms. Imagine that object in your hand. Feel the weight of it in your hand. Try to imagine the texture. Ladies, you're imagining a yellow ball of yarn. And gentlemen, be careful. You don't want to cut yourself with that carving knife. Choices. We all make them, although they aren't always ours. Nothing could be further from the truth. Be an independent thinker. Choose wisely.